You know, we all want to come up with those big, game-changing ideas. But what if the very things we use to motivate people, like bonuses and other perks, are actually squashing our best work? It's a huge paradox, right? And today, we're going to dive into how we can rethink rewards to actually light a fire under creativity. So let me ask you this, and it's a bold question, I know, but is your bonus system killing creativity? Just think about it for a second. You put this big financial reward out there hoping for some brilliant new solution. And what do you get? Safe, predictable, middle-of-the-road ideas. It's super common. And we're about to unpack exactly why these systems, which mean well, totally backfire when you're aiming for real innovation.
And this is really the core of the problem. Look, financial rewards are great for tasks that have a clear finish line, things you can do over and over. But innovation, that needs risk. It needs people to color outside the lines. And those same rewards can actually make people play it safe, because they don't want to risk the bonus by trying something that might fail.
To really get why this happens, you have to understand the two basic ways we're motivated. First, there's extrinsic motivation. That's all the stuff from the outside world. Money, a promotion, praise from your boss. Then, you've got intrinsic motivation. That's the drive that comes from inside you. That feeling of satisfaction you get just from figuring something out or getting better at a skill.
And yeah, this table lays it all out pretty clearly. Over on one side, you've got your extrinsic stuff, like bonuses and salaries. And look, we need those, of course. But check out the intrinsic column. Having a sense of purpose, having autonomy over your work, feeling like you're growing and mastering new skills. This is the real engine for innovation. The trick isn't to get rid of one for the other. It's about striking the right balance.
So okay, if the old model is broken, what do we do? Well, it's not about just throwing rewards out the window. It's about being way more strategic. Let's walk through a practical framework for building an incentive system that actually helps innovation instead of hurting it.
It pretty much comes down to these three simple steps. First up, you have to align. Make sure your incentives are directly connected to the big picture company goals. Second, you've got to link performance to innovation outcomes specifically, not just the usual sales numbers. And finally, and this is a big one, be transparent. Everybody needs to understand how the system works and see that it's fair. That's how you build trust.
All right, so what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's open up the Innovators Toolkit and check out some proven rewards. A lot of them aren't what you typically think of, that the most creative companies use to get their teams thinking bigger. And you can see some great examples right here. Instead of just a bigger paycheck, think about stuff like innovation grants, which give people the money and freedom to explore a new idea, or public recognition programs that tap into our need to feel valued. Flexible work models give people control over their own time, and clear career growth opportunities give them a path toward mastery. See the pattern here? Every single one of these feeds those internal intrinsic motivators we were just talking about. Okay, so we've covered what you should be doing. But just as important, maybe even more important, is knowing what not to do. It is so easy to fall into these common traps, even with the best intentions, and end up ruining the whole effort.
So please watch out for these. First, don't use metrics that are so rigid that basically force people into a box. You'll stifle any real creativity. Second, don't get so obsessed with hitting short-term targets that you completely ignore the long-term breakthroughs. And finally, whatever you do, don't set up a system that creates cutthroat internal competition. You'll just end up with people hoarding their best ideas instead of sharing them.
When you pull it all together, it becomes obvious that we're talking about something way bigger than just a bonus plan. A smart reward system is a really powerful tool, sure, but it's a tool that's meant to build something much more important.
This quote just nails it. The real goal here isn't just to motivate one person, it's to weave innovation into the very DNA of your company. You're trying to build a place where creative thinking is just the default, where taking smart risks is celebrated, and where everyone feels like they can bring their best ideas to the table because the whole system has their back.
And that brings us to the final question. For you, thinking about your own team, your own company, what's the one small, smart change you could make that would start to tip the scales? What's one thing you could do, starting today, to help unlock that deep internal motivation and maybe even find that next great idea?